Guten Tag! So in this video I'm going to show you how we want you to set up your German exercise book, which is this lovely purple one. So on the front, on the top line, you're going to put your last name and first name in the order that you want. So if your name was, for example, Martin Baum, let's make it up, and I'm deciding to put the first name first, so I'm going to write here Martin Baum. So that's the top line. Okay, first name, last name, or if you wanted to do last name, first name, that's fine. You're also going to put in your learning group. So if you were, for example, in the class 8x3 for your German lessons, you would then write 8x3. And then the code that we have for German is a G, so 8x3G. Underneath, you're going to write the name of your teacher. So we have two options in our school for your German teachers. You could have Mr. Barfield, in which case you're going to write Herr for Mr. Herr Barfield. Okay? And if you have me, Miss Ronquier, then you're going to write Frau Ronquier. Okay, so that will be on your second line. I'm going to pretend that Martin Baum is in Mr. Barfield's class, and so underneath we're going to write Herr Barfield. Like so. You don't have to write the classroom because these might change, so it might be a good idea not to do it. If you want to add in the classroom, I would suggest you use a pencil to do it on the side. So maybe with Mr. Barfield in year 8, you're in room 44 or 45 or 46. So you might in brackets just put number 44 or 46. And here what you could do is add in your subject. So we've already got a clue here, 8x3G, but here we can add that it's for German. Okay, this way if you misplace your book, then other people will know that it's your German book, and that will help them trace back where it should be. Okay, one thing that I found useful in the past is also having tutor groups on the textbook. So let's pretend that Martin Baum is actually also in Mr. Barfield's tutor group, so then here he could write 8TMB, which is the code for Mr. Barfield's tutor group. Okay, so that's your German cover setup. First name, last name, learning group, teacher, subject, tutor group. And here you have some room to put your room in pencil if you want. Now that's for the outside. If we then open your book, the first page we are going to set up as a contents page. So at the top, sorry, I lost my balance there. At the top, we're going to write Inhalt. Inhalt and underline. You're going to use a ruler to underline. I haven't because I'm just showing you this quickly. Inhalt. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have basically page numbers here. And for each page number, we'll have a title to know what we've done in those lessons, so that you can refer to your table of contents and quickly go to the right page if you want to check on something in March and you don't want to have to flick through the entire book. So what I usually do, because I like things to be very symmetrical and regular, I fold my page in half, and that will give me an idea of where the column. I did the Inhalt pretty well centered as well, it's not too bad. So then you can start numbering the lines here and continue here. That will give you all your page numbers. So if we start here, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you continue all the way down, and then you pick up again here. Okay? Once that's done, all you've got left to do is numbering your pages. Now, you don't need to number every single one of them. What you could do is, if you're right-handed, like me, I'd suggest that this is your page number 1, This is a little bit close, isn't it? Is that going to be better? So this is page number 1. Okay, I'm going to just write number 2 here in the bottom right corner and use my left hand to lift it and put number 4, lift, 6, lift, 8, lift, 10. Okay? And that way you can number your pages really fast. So that's if you're right-handed. You're going to only write down the even numbers, because then you know if that's number 2, then that's obviously number 1. If you're left-handed, you're going to do it the other way, which I might struggle to do because I'm not left-handed, but you will end up writing just your number 1, which is a rubbish way to write it, and your right hand is going to turn the page. You're going to write number 3. I'm really bad at this. And your right hand turns the page. Number 5, right hand turns the page. Number 7, right hand turns the page, etc. And that's it. You've got your German book set up once you've finished with this. Alright, that was for German. For the French, what you're going to do is the same system. So I'm going to make up a new name. Let's say that your name is Rose Dupont. So just like we did in German, we've got first name, last name, and let's say that Rose is in the French class 7S, and then we put F for French. Alright, your learning group is 7S, so you put 7S. If you're 7R, you put 7R. If you're 8Y1, you put 8Y1, etc. And then you write your teacher name. Now, I don't think this year Mr. Barfield teaches French, but he might, so just in case. If you have Mr. Barfield in French, you're going to write Monsieur. Okay, that's for Mr. and then Barfield. If you have Mr. Dutuit, you're going to write Monsieur Dutuit, D-U-T-H-U-I-T. Monsieur is the common denominator here. And then if you're in class with me for French, you're going to write Madame, like that, Ronquier. And that will go to your second line, okay? Madame Ronquier, or Monsieur Barfield, or Monsieur Dutuit. So let's pretend Rose is in my class. So in the middle, she's writing Madame Ronquier, which gives her a bit less space, but again, just like Martin before, if she wants to, Rose can add her room in pencil here in case it changes through the year. Underneath, we're going to write the subject, which is French. Okay, and then Rose is going to add her tutor group. So I'm not sure what tutor groups we have in year 7. Let's pretend that we have as a code for Rose's tutor group 7 job. I think that's an actual tutor group we have. So depending on your tutor, you'd write that in here. And that's it for the cover. All right. For the inside, for the first page, the contents page, we'll do a very similar thing to the German one. So just again to remind you, this is what it looked like. We had Inhalt. You're going to number everything here. And these will be your page numbers. And then when you've done a lesson on page 1, you can then go back and write in the title of that lesson here, so that you know what happened in those lessons. You can find them. So you'll do the exact same thing for French, but the only difference is Inhalt, which was German for contents, is going to be put in French. And so we have 2 options for that. Probably the easier one is contenu. So I'm doing this fast this time, so I want to center it. I didn't think about it earlier. So we're going to write contenu. Okay, and that means contents in French. And once you've done that, you're then going to do the same thing as for German. Put all your numbers here. Number your pages, either in the bottom right corner, do all of the even numbers if you're right-handed, or bottom left corner, do all of the odd numbers if you're left-handed. That's just for the sake of efficiency, because otherwise it's a bit of a tedious, boring task. But this way you only do half the numbers and your hands are each having a job, so it's quicker. And that's it for your book setup. Now you might have different ways of using your book in lessons. In my lessons, I think what we're going to do is use the front of the book for all of your classroom, like proper notes, lesson notes that you need to learn, and for your neat work that I need to mark. So if you do a piece of writing and it's neat, it goes in the front, and then you can flip your book over this way and use the back for drafts and notes to yourselves and practices and games and things like that. Okay, so the front is for all of the neat stuff, and then the back is the rough part of your book, basically. And that is it for your book setup. I hope this was clear, and I'm looking forward to having fun with you in class. Bye, au revoir, tschüss.